Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to the episode 17 of the Milai's Tinks Knitting Podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. So I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland, where I live with my gecko, and you can find me on Instagram as milaris.tinks, and you can find links of everything I talk about down in the description box if you're interested. And we are the 2nd of March 2024. I think I haven't forgotten anything more. Yeah, so today is gonna be pretty jam-packed. I have a lot of stuff to share with you, so I'm going to avoid rambling on for too long without rushing all the stuff I need to share. So yeah, and also today I haven't slept really well, which happens sometimes. Doesn't need to be any particular reason. Sometimes the insomnia just strikes, which happened this night, so maybe, not sure if you can tell, but my face is a little bit swollen, and yeah, I'm probably gonna have low energy, or maybe not, because sometimes when I start filming I just get energy out of nowhere, so we will see what happens, but that's how it is today. So as I said, the program of today is pretty heavy. I have 2 finished objects, one of which you have never seen before because I have cast on and finished it in 8 days. And in the last episode I had done the same thing, but it was for a really small summer garment, so it wasn't very surprising that I finished it this fast, but this time it's a whole sweater. Yeah, I have zero chill. Anyway, so those are my 2 finished objects. I also have 2 whips and 1 acquisition, and I'm gonna do an update on my knitting journal. And I think that's it, which is already quite a lot, so let's get into it immediately. But first, what I am wearing, this is the Billie Pullover by Sari Nordlung. I've never tried saying this name out loud, and I'm discovering now that I don't know how to say it. Sari Nordlung? Sorry. Yeah, so it's a pretty well-known design, and it's a little bit creased because I just took it out of the closet, and it's the only sweater of my hand knit collection I haven't worn this winter yet. The reason is pretty simple. It's because I have knitted to proportions that are perfect to wear when I go skiing, and I didn't go skiing this year, so there's that. And I think last year either, or maybe once. So yeah, the reasons those proportions are perfect for that is because I knit it extra long. So my hip bones, I mean, it's not extra long, but compared to what I usually wear, which is super cropped like this, it's super long. Because I wanted it to cover my my low back so that I wouldn't get chilly winds coming under my coat, my ski coat. Do you call that coat? In French it's a vest, but a vest in English is when you don't have sleeves, so it's not a vest. I don't know. Yeah, my ski clothing, whatever. And I also made the sleeves a little bit long so that it would go inside my gloves easily. And it's pretty, like, it's not, I have positive ease of course, but it's a little bit less oversized than I would like, because that way I can have it under my vest, coat, I don't know, without having any excess fabric that would be creasing and being uncomfortable anywhere. So I don't really like wearing it when I'm not skiing, because of that, because I just think it looks, I mean, it looks fine when I'm sitting in front of a camera with my bottom half cut, but I think when I'm standing, oh, it's creased because it was folded in half here, so this is not supposed to be here, but I just don't really like the way it folds on my body. Also, I'm wearing a lot of high-waisted stuff, so I just think this length is a bit weird. So I do not wear it outside of skiing, which is a shame because this is a lot of work. But yeah, the yarn I used is Nutiden by Honor Oak Air in the colorway Skogsrue, I think. Skogsrua. It's a dark forest green, like pretty basic color, but it's beautiful. It has a lot of depth, and I held it double. I have no idea about the needles or anything because I knit that like 3 years ago. And I knitted to pattern, I think. I knit size 2, but I lengthened the raglan lines. And if you followed me for the precedent episode, you will know that I don't really enjoy raglan or straight raglan constructions because it doesn't really fit me. And it's the case with this one because the collar is coming too high, even though they are not short rows. You are knitting the beginning of the pattern flat and then you join in around here. So the back neck is a little bit higher, but definitely not enough, and this is not a compound raglan. So it's a little bit... I don't like this. I don't like the creases it's making there. Even though I already modified it to have longer armholes, yoke. Yeah, so it's not the most comfortable either. So yeah, anyway, this is a fine sweater for what it was made for, but I don't really enjoy it other than that, because yeah, I like to wear it under a jacket but not on its own, which is a shame because it's beautiful and it was a lot of work, but yeah, it's how it is. So that's it for what I'm wearing. We'll go straight into finished objects, which for the first one I'll show you the smaller one. I finished the socks I was knitting for my boyfriend's boss. If you want the full story, you can go watch the precedent episodes, but yeah. And they look super big, I mean super long, because I'm so used to knitting socks for myself that this looks huge, but they fit, so they're perfectly fitting actually, so that's nice. But yeah, it was a lot more work than I thought it would be, but I think it was worth it because they look super cool. So the yarn I used is by Fröhlich Wolle, which is German, I guess, and it's just a pretty standard fingering superwash yarn, merino and nylon. It's a 75-25% blend, and I have the tag somewhere, but it's pretty far, so I'm not gonna show it. And I used, this was the most surprising to me, I used almost everything I had. I have maybe like 20 grams left, which is wild because for a pair of socks for me I used 50 grams, so those are really big. But yeah, and they are almost matching but not completely because this yarn is using a reinforcing thread, and as you can see it has a stripes motif, and the reinforcing thread also has the stripe motif, so I really wanted to match the motif on the reinforcing thread and on the main yarn, which was not easy because of course I had no idea when the heel would happen. I need them top down. So yeah, but I managed. I made it work. It was quite complicated. I'm not sure I would do that again for the next pair I knit with this yarn, but at least I know it's possible. And they are kind of matchy, but not completely. Because I got 2 reinforcing thread spools, like really small spools, and they were of course not identical, so I knew there would be a little bit of a difference between the two. Yeah, anyway, so you cannot tell in the sock, but these parts, the toes and the heel, are actually thicker because I held 2 strands together on the same needles and it worked out perfectly. So I'm hoping these will last for a long time, and I guess the recipient hopes too. So those are the socks. Super happy about them, and I love knitting socks, so it's all good. But I don't really like wearing them, so I'm happy to be able to knit socks for others. So that's it. And then the next finished object is a sweater that I cast on last Friday, and I finished yesterday, and it took me 8 days. Here it is. Ta-da! It's a whole sweater! Yay! So you probably cannot tell, but this is the Doppio Sweater by Sunny Hong, and it's a sweater I have already knit, but this one is not for me. However, it's the same size that I knit for myself, so I can actually put it on, which I will do right away, even though maybe you can tell or maybe not. I mean, I have woven in the ends but not cut them, but I haven't blocked it yet, so it's a little bit wonky for now. But I can still put it on for you. looks amazing, I'm so happy. Yeah, so it's kind of a cropped length, but I have lengthened it a little bit because I know my friend is a little bit shorter than me, and I have also shortened the sleeves quite a bit. I mean, it's not blocked, so once blocked it will probably go down here, which should be... it's a little bit short for me, but I think for my friend it's gonna be perfect. Yeah, so I knit size 2, I think I mentioned that. And I knit it exactly to pattern, except for the 2 modifications I mentioned. So a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. And my gauge is kind of correct, but not 100%. I am using yarn by the Rerum Natura, which is the Cyrano base. It's like iron weight yarn. Where is the tag? Oh, there. So it's this one. This is what I have left over of the 5th ball, so I used a little bit more than 4.5 balls. And this is the tag. So it's 150 meters per 100 grams, and you knit that on 5 to 6 millimeters, but I used 6. No, I used 6. I used 6 millimeters for the sweater. And the suggested gauge is 15 to 13 stitches, and the gauge for the sweater is 15, which is perfect. But my gauge is more like 14. I tried to knit a little bit tighter because when I knit, I know that when I knit flat, I mean, it depends on my mood and on the period I am in. I guess sometimes in the summer I knit tighter, in the winter I knit looser, I don't know. There's no real logic. But yeah, I knit the swatch, and the swatch was 15 centimeters, but it was knit flat. And I could feel I was in the mood to knit looser in the round, because my pearls are tighter than my knits. So I know my flat tension can be a little bit tighter than my in the round tension. So I knew it would happen, probably. So I knit the beginning of the sweater with the short rows and everything flat, and my gauge was correct, it was 15 stitches. And when I switched to in the round, I very quickly measured the gauge, and it was 14. So I tried to knit a little bit tighter for the rest of the sweater, and it worked out. I mean, I'm more like 14.5 stitches instead of 15, but it's working. Because the size 2 was a little bit small anyway, so it's good that it's a little bit bigger in the end. And it's not blocked, so that's why everything is happening here. And also my friend has a bigger bust than me, so it's going to be filled a bit more than this. So yeah, it's gonna be perfect, I think. And I haven't told you the reason why I'm knitting this. So I'm knitting this for my childhood friend. We've known each other for 26 years, and she's turning 30 this year, and me too. So it's a gift for her 13th birthday, which is happening next month. And it's a joint gift with other friends, so basically they are sponsoring the yarn and a little bit of the work, and I am knitting the garment for her. And whenever we do the party, because she's going out to Japan during the month of her birthday, and when she comes back, we're gonna do something together with our friends. And if we do any activity or any restaurant or thing that can cost a bit more, they're gonna pay for my part too, because I put a lot of work in this gift. So yeah, that's the deal, and I'm pretty happy about it. I have no idea why I speed knit this thing in 8 days, because I think I was just having fun, and the yarn was so amazing, so squishy and so soft. I'm kind of jealous now, because I think this one actually is nicer to wear than my own Doppio sweater. But yeah, it was just a delight, and I'm so happy I finally managed to knit with this yarn, because it's been a long time since I wanted to try it, but it wasn't really fitting in my knitting plans, so now I have, and I can confirm it's a beautiful yarn, and it's especially nice for gifts because it's super soft. I'm very, very sensitive to wool, and this is absolutely not scratchy, like at all. I don't feel anything. So it's good when you have to gift something for someone and you don't know if they are sensitive or not. I really recommend. This yarn comes in 3 thicknesses. Thickness. There is Cyrano, which is the bulkiest one, it's a Aran weight. Then there is Gilead, which is like a worsted, heavy DK worsted. And then there's, I think it's Ulysse, which is the lightest, it's a sport weight. So you can do whatever you want with this yarn. It's amazing, I love it, I recommend it, and yeah. We also chose the color together with our friends. I asked, kind of smoothly, my friend, hey, what are your favorite colors to wear? And maybe she understood why I asked that. I tried to make it a little bit in the middle of another conversation so that she wouldn't be suspicious, but I think she was, because she started sending me pictures of her wearing various colors so that I could really see what she looked like, and I was like, thank you, but why are you going this far just to answer this simple question? Yeah, I think she probably is suspecting something, but that way we managed to find a perfect color for her. She's a redhead, so this color with her, she's like really redhead. It's not like brown with orangey, how do you say that, reflections? She's like really orange, which looks beautiful on her. So yeah, we think this is going to be the best choice. And I have nothing to say about the garment. I mean, the pattern is super nice. It's a compound raglan and it's perfectly fitting. It's absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. It's just perfect. Knit this sweater, please. Do it. And it goes super fast because of the bigger gauge. So yeah, it's just a pleasure from beginning to end. For the yarn, I have already said how nice it is. I just have one thing to say. Two things, one positive and one negative. The positive one is that my last ball was a different dye lot, which is all my fault because I only ordered 4 the first time I ordered the yarn, for a kind of complicated reason that I will maybe explain at the end of the episode if we have some time. And the 5th ball, since I ordered it 1 week later, it was a different dye lot. And you cannot see anything. I think I joined maybe like here, and there's nothing. It's exactly the same shade, which is good. But the only complaint I have is that in the last 2 balls I used, there were a lot of knots. Maybe there were at least 2, if not 3, which is a lot. Like, it's 150 meters. Why would there be 3 knots in a ball? And the reason I only got them in the last 2, I mean, it's a coincidence, it was the last 2, but the first 3 balls, there were cuts, but they were split spliced, so it was invisible. I mean, I could see it when I got to it, because you can see when it's split spliced, but it was just invisible in the fabric. But the knots, you can see them. Fortunately, they all ended up on the back side. I don't think you can... I'm not going to find out one now, but yeah, they fortunately all ended up hidden, so it's fine. But I was a little bit surprised to see so many of them. Yeah, but if it really bothers you, you can still cut the knots and then split splice the yarn, since this is a non-superwash base. It's 100% merino, by the way. So yeah, you don't have to knit the knots inside the fabric, but I did because I was in a speed knitting mood and I didn't want it to stop to split splice and everything, so I was just lazy. And I don't think she will ever notice, so it's fine. So yeah, the last step now is to block it, obviously, because for now it's not really making it justice. And I don't think by next episode I will have given it already, so maybe you will see it again in the next one. But yeah, it's gonna be more like this. Wow, I like it. I like this. I like wearing this color too for myself, but this is not for me, unfortunately. So yeah, that's it for the second finished object for today. And I am overheating, so I'm probably not going to put the other sweater back on. So for my next project, it's work in progress. So it's something I cast on maybe 5 days ago, when I could see this was getting super bulky to take with me because I mainly knit in the bus when I go to work, and this was getting super difficult to transport in my small bag. I had to cast on something else that was a little bit more portable. So what I cast on is Can you tell what this is? Of course not. So this is a piece of fabric that is completely rolling up on itself, and this is going in this direction. Yeah. This is the Woodruff turtleneck by Celine Phaeton, and this is it. As the name suggests, it's a turtleneck and it's a close-fitting like underlayer garment type, which I wear a lot of because a lot of my sweaters are itchy, like this one is actually, which is also the reason why I'm not putting it back on, because it's itchy. So I like wearing turtlenecks under them so that the color doesn't touch my throat, because I hate it. So this is actually a perfect garment for me, and I definitely need that in my wardrobe. So I've been wanting to cast it on for a year, but I never managed to, because it's a fingering weight garment and it's a lot of knitting, which I enjoy, but it's also a longer time commitment, and I always have stuff that's coming up, so I'm always pushing this back. But this time I managed and I cast it on, and it's almost the end of the winter, so I'm probably not going to wear it this year, but whatever, it's here. I needed something small, so there's that. The yarn I used is Woolberry Fiber Company's Berry Natural, which is a fingering weight, non-superwash base. It's 100% merino. It's a 2-ply, which I really enjoy, and the colorway is Nook. It's a solid color, but look at this beautiful tonality. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's probably going to be even easier to see when I have a little bit more fabric to show, but yeah, I'm already getting so excited by it. This is the swatch, by the way, maybe it's gonna be easier to see. Yeah, it's a beautiful emerald color, very deep, very green, very blue. Very fitting for my skin tone and my hair. I love it so much. It's just amazing. So yeah, one of the things that's made me hesitant to cast this on is the sizing, and the problem is, if you follow me for a while, you will know that I climb a lot, so my back and my arms are very muscular. I mean, I have a lot of muscle tissues there, but my bust is super small, so I'm having a lot of troubles having sweaters to fit me because of that. And this is especially tricky on the fit because you really need the shoulders to fit correctly. And yeah, it's a close-fitting garment, and there is a shoulder seam. I mean, yes, it's a shoulder seam. You are picking up the stitches to make a sleeve cap, so this shoulder really need to be on the correct spot on the body. But the designer made it so that different body types could knit this and still have it fit perfectly, because she's amazing. I love Celine. She's just one of my favorite designers for sure. So what she did for this one is that she put separated Google Sheet where you can input your shoulder measurement, cross shoulder, your bust circumference, and your arm side or your bicep circumference. And you can input that in the file. I have printed it out here. I don't think you can see any instruction. So here you can see on these 3 green cells, you can input those informations. And you can see for me why I'm having so much trouble. So the bust is size 2, the cross shoulder is size 8, and the bicep is size 4. Which is why a lot of my sweaters don't fit me, because if I'm only knitting size 2, it's going to be too short for the shoulders. All the time. So, and actually I went down a size for the shoulders because my measurement indicates that I should knit size 9, which is the biggest size. And my true bust should be size 1, because I'm using my upper bust, which is bigger, but my bust is size 1, and my shoulders are size 9, which is wild, but it's just how it is. So I'm very, very glad I managed to find a pattern that would allow me to make this kind of cross-matching between different sizes to have something that fits me. So I'm very excited about this one to see how it works. But as you can see, I still have size 2 and size 8 and not size 1 and size 9. And the reason I did that is because, as I said, I'm using my upper bust rather than my bust because it's bigger. I'm just taking the bigger measurements between the two. And for the shoulders, I just thought maybe having the bigger size paired with the very small size would just give weird proportions to the garment, and I just wanted to avoid that. So I downsized for the shoulders, and what I'm doing to accommodate for that is that I am modifying the short rows on the back neck. So here, on the back neck, it's difficult to see. Yeah, you cannot really see it, but there is back neck shaping, so that, I mean, your neck is a tube, and the garment, the collar of the garment is making a curve on the front, but also on the back. And what I did is I made a little bit more short rows so that the curve on the back would be a little bit deeper, because this is one of the places where I have a lot of muscles. I mean, it's hard to see, especially with this t-shirt, but yeah, this is where a lot of the stuff happens for me. So having deeper short rows allows for the garment to sit a little bit lower on my shoulders and avoid having this being tugged by my back neck. And I also made a little bit more short rows on the shoulder slope, because this point, the height difference between this point and this one is bigger for me because of the muscles I have here. So I just made it a little bit more slopier to accommodate for that. And I hope both those modifications are gonna help the size 8 fall correctly on my shoulders. We will see how it works, but I discussed those modifications with Celine, with the designer, and she agreed with everything I was planning to do, and she said it should work out, so I will trust her guidance, and yeah, I'm just cruising along on this. This is the back panel, and this is the part, I mean, I have two little stitch markers here. This is where the back neck is. Yeah, it's probably gonna be easier to show when I have a little bit more fabric, but for now, this is it, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait. I should have cast this on sooner because I'm so excited about it. Yeah, but it's a good thing. So that's it for my first work in progress. And for the second one, it's a long-term project that I haven't shown you in a while because it's not very interesting, but I have started a new milestone, so I thought it would be a nice moment to show you the progress I have. So the project in question is the Arctic Morning blanket by Jenny's Hope, which is a gorgeous blanket. I mean, it looks amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about everything I knit. Yeah, so I have made some progress. I have knit already 8 hexies, and they are here. So this is what they look like. Ooh. I am using Nutiden held double for the whole project, so I'm using a black, brown or black yarn for the main color, and I'm using blues for the, or cold tones for the contrast color. So I can maybe show them all to you. Don't know how to do it. So this is one design, and I have knit 4 of those. This is the first one I knit. I mean the first design. This is the second of the first design. They are in order in which I knit them. This is another design. I have 2 of those. 1, 2. This is back to the first, I think. This is the same. Or maybe 4 of those. I don't remember. Anyway, it's super cool. It's looking amazing. I love them. And the new milestone I have reached is because I started adding another color, which is a pop of color. And I said I was only using cold blue tones for the colors, but I am adding warmer pop of colors in the center of certain hexes. So in this one I haven't closed the middle hole yet, so it's looking a little bit weird, but this is what it looks like. Wait, you don't need that. So for now, this is what it looks like. And I have taken a picture of a layout I did. This is not how it's supposed to look like in the finished blanket, but I just wanted to see the colors, and that's why I have put designs that are not supposed to be next to each other, just because I wanted to see the colors, and I wanted to see if it would look good to have a pop of colors at this specific point in the blanket. And I think it should look fine. This is the colorway Luce 2022. So it's the special holiday colorway, Christmas holiday colorways from 2 years ago. And it's a sample I got. I didn't buy this one, I got like a 20-gram sample, which is perfect. I think I will manage to do maybe 6 hexes using this in the center, which is perfect, because it's exactly what I was aiming for in the bigger layout of the thing. So I think it should work out, but I'm not 100% convinced. I mean, it looks great, but if you see the picture, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not going to read back, I will just push through and see when I'm done, but for now, I'm not convinced. Maybe I should have stuck with only warm tones, cool tones. Maybe not this exact shade of orange, with this shade of turquoise. I don't know. I already asked some friends and they have told me they think it looks amazing, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think it looks nice? It looks good? I mean, if I put this next to it without breaking everything. I don't know, I'm not sure. Tell me what you think, I would like your opinion on this. But yeah, so this is my long-term project, and yeah, I'm doing slow and steady progress. I have decided to do 1 hexie per week, which I am sticking to for now. I have managed. I started this 8 weeks ago and I've made 8 hexes, so perfect, I'm on track, looking nice. And I was feeling a little bit demotivated because it's still very repetitive to do. But when I started doing the pop of color thing, it just gave birth to new motivation. So now I am kind of back to day one, motivation wise, so it's nice. I'm happy. And also one thing I wanted to say, which is kind of funny, is that those are not DPNs. Someone asked me, are those DPNs? And I was like, no, they are skewers. That you use like for barbecues or just food in general. I just bought a huge pack. I have like 100 pack of them, and they are 3 millimeters in diameter, and I'm knitting this on 4 millimeters, so it's perfect. They have one pointy part and one flat edge. Like point, flat. And it's perfect. So I'm using skewers, and I have no idea how I'm going to block this. I think I will maybe steam block everything before joining, and then wet block once everything is steamed. I don't know, I will see, but this is for like in 6 months for now, so I will see when I get there. That's all for my works in progress, and I wanted to show, I have already shared this in the latest episode, and I said I was going to cast it on immediately, but I didn't, because I swatched and the swatch didn't really go out as I planned, and then I wasn't sure what to decide, so I haven't cast on yet. So this is the swatch. I love it so much. It looks so cool. So as you can guess, this is for a garment that's gonna be 3 colors. So I just find it so cute. This is for the Teddy Zip by Joan Ho, and this is the design. They are not the best pictures I've seen. I will put up a picture from an Instagram account. And yeah, obviously I have decided to knit this in 3 colors. So I'm using, as always, Nutilen. So I have this one, which is like a dark burgundy red, and this is held with Filcolana, Peruvian Highland wool, in the colorway Merlot Mélange. So this is the Nutiden with the Filcolana, and as you can tell, the Filcolana is a little bit lighter, and you can see a slight marl in the fabric, which looks fine in the red. I like it. And then you have the blue. So the Nutiden colorway is a very dark navy blue, and I'm holding it with a Filcolana in the colorway Midnight. So again, the Filcolana is a little bit lighter, but it looks very fine. I really like it, so it's working. But the last one, and this is the same green as in this sweater, by the way, it's the leftovers from this. And the green I use in the Filcolana is not really matching really well. It's way too yellow and too light. So this one is the colorway Thyme. I don't know how you say that. And it's not working. I really don't like it. So yeah, I did the swatch and I wasn't convinced. So I had to switch routes to find another plan. And in the end, after a lot of debate with myself, I decided to switch the order of colors. Because I have actually maybe 250 grams left of this colorway, and I think it is enough if I hold it quadruple. If I hold 4 strands together to get gauge. The gauge is like 11 stitches per 10 centimeters for the whole garment. And I think if I hold, if I hold the yarn quadruple, I have enough to knit the whole body of the jacket. And I have made a swatch. I'm using 6.5 millimeters. So this is the same Nutiden without the Filcolana, held 4 strands together. The 4 strands are here. And I'm getting gauge. And the fabric is stiff, which is exactly what I want because this is going to be an outerwear jacket. So the fabric is stiff, which is nice. I mean, it could be stiffer. If I had enough, I would hold it 5 strands, but I don't have enough. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I will do the body in only Nutiden without the Filcolana, and then I will do each sleeve in Nutiden plus Filcolana, because those two are fine. And since I have bought the yarn already, I want to use it. And for those 2 colors, the blue and the red, I have projects planned already, so I don't want to use too much of that. I have more than I need, but that much more. So I think having sleeves will use maybe less than 100 grams, so it should be fine. But then I have bought 6 balls of this one because I wanted to do the body in the red, so I will have way too much. And then this one I'm not gonna use, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the leftovers of those. But what I think I can do is knit a lining for the body, because as I said, it is designed to be an outerwear jacket, and I think having a double thickness for the body is going to be nice in the warmth department. So I'll maybe do stripes, or I don't know, I mean it's gonna be on the inside, so I don't really care, but I can maybe use those for that. Or just use them in another project. I will see when I get there. But yeah, this is my next cast-on. And it's probably going to be my at-home knitting project, because yeah, Nutiden is kind of difficult to transport because it's very, this is the 4-strand ball, and it breaks and it's bulky and it takes a lot of room, so it's not really easy to knit on it while on the bus and just in the transit in general. So I'm gonna have this as my at-home project and have my Woodruff, which is very small and fingering weight yarn with small needles, to be my on-the-go project. And yeah, I'm super excited about all of this. So that's the plans. Next, I can show you, I think, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So next I can show you my knitting journal, because we are the beginning of the month and I can make a little update on my project plans for last month, if I manage to get to them, and my plans for next month. So there are a lot of categories in this journal because it's a Hobonichi journal, which is it's the Teco one, so it's basically a planner for the whole year, so it's 1 day per page. And I'm using basically a month for each different category. So I have what I have spent million yarn or needles or everything, just to keep an eye on my expenses regarding my hobby. I have a list of garments I want to fix, I have a list of garments I want to frog. I have then a list of designs I like and I'm planning to knit. It's basically the queue on Ravelry, if I was using Ravelry. And then I have a month category for the yarns I want to try out. And then I have a category for the... I called it design ideas, but basically it's just stuff I didn't find any pattern for and I want to knit anyway, so it's design ideas. And then I have a category for Instagram, if by any chance I have an idea for a post or a reel or something. It's empty. I just wanted to find a category for each month, but then I put in things that are kind of useless, so... And then the next one is for the same but for YouTube. Basically I'm just writing down in this everything I want to talk about in the podcast and not forget about, which I have kind of succeeded until now. Most of the things I have written down are crossed, so doing a great job. The next one is empty. I couldn't find anything to put in there. The next one is yarn tracker in, which is not the same as the general expenses, because in those I have like the needles, the notions, the bags, even the fabrics I buy or all of that. But in here I'm putting exact grams in that I buy of yarn or that I receive. So I haven't done any total for the year, but I think I have knit like 2 kilos of yarn until now, and I have bought, I think it's maybe 2 kilos, I don't know, I haven't done any total yet, but I definitely should have for this podcast. Probably go in the next one. I will have to write in my YouTube category to not forget to do the totals for the yarn in and yarn out for the year. So yeah. And then I have a category for sewing. For example, this I sewed myself, this amazing quilt pillow. And I have a few I would like to sew myself a project bag and stuff like that. So this is in this category. And the last one, which is the one I wanted to share with you today, is the actual monthly planning. So I'm completely copying the Nitty Natty style she's using. So for the month of February, this is what the spread looked like. And as you can see, it's definitely the same as her. So we have the plans for the month, and then it's divided in weeks, and in each week I'm putting out what I'm planning to knit. And as you can see, most of it is crossed. And for next month, I have done the spread, and as you can see, for the first week I have already started crossing out stuff. I have finished the Doppio Sweater, and yeah, it's looking good for now. But as you can maybe also see, the end of the month is only in paper pen, because I'm not sure what's gonna happen in 3 weeks. Like, when am I going to be done with the Woodruff turtleneck? When I am going to be done with the teddy zip? I don't know. Which is kind of showing the limit of this kind of planning for me, because I'm kind of just making plans as I go. And you can maybe tell in last month there are a lot of, I mean, I think it's hard to tell on the camera, but there are a lot of, I have no idea how you call that, like white masking tape roll-on thing that you put when you want to correct something you have written down with a pen. So there's a lot of that in here, because I switch plans a lot, and so it's not really useful for me to plan in a written form, because I just change what I want to do every week. So I'm kind of wondering if it's really useful, and I think it's not. However, it's very satisfying to cross out the things and actually see in a written form what I have accomplished until now. It's just satisfying, and I like lists. So I'm going to stick with this and going to continue doing the monthly thing, because I like it. Even if it's not useful, it's fun to do, so I just continue. So yeah, if you want a breakdown of last month, in February I wanted to knit 4 hexie squares, finish my inclination scowl, The backless bra is the test knit I did for John Ho. I'm just putting, GSB is granny square blanket, and I'm just putting that here to see if I'm going to actually finish the squares, but I did not, I did only one. Socks L are the finished socks I just showed you. Quilt pillows, I did one, but I wanted to do two, so I didn't cross that. The teddy zip got pushed to the next month, and the Doppio, I cast that on, so it's crossed. And in each week, well, I just did what I wanted to do. And the last week is only 3 days, which is the reason why there was only the Doppio there, because I knew I would probably only knit on that, which is exactly what happened. And yeah, the teddy zip is not crossed because it got pushed to the next month. So for the month of March, I haven't written March yet, and it's written December on top, so I just need to do the nice layout for this. So yeah, anyway, for this month I am planning to knit 5 hexies for my blanket, which is the AMB for Arctic Morning Blanket. I finished the Doppio for my friend. I'm planning to finish the Woodruff. I still put the granny square blanket squares. Macrame, I'm probably going to explain that one in the next episode, because I wanted to show it to you this week, but it's not ready to show yet. Teddy zip is a teddy zip. Augustine 22, I put it with a paper pen because I'm not exactly sure I'm going to do that this month, but it's there so that I don't forget. Quilt pillow, same, I'm not sure I'm going to do it this month, but I would like to. And I wanted to do the project bag, as I mentioned, and the sewn project bag. And William is a baby that was born last year. He's actually, how do you say that? My godson? I'm not sure. My nephew? No. I think it's godson. Yeah, and I just wanted to knit something for him because he's turning 1 next month. So, but I'm not sure because it's next month and he's a baby, so maybe I will have time to do that in April. So those are the fixed plans and the loose plans for this month, and we will see how much I manage. But for now, I'm just enjoying crossing out the lines, so I will stick with the useless planning for now. So, the next part for today is the acquisitions, and they are still in the box, and I can show you. Actually, you will already have seen that one in the last episode, because this is the same yarn I used for the test knit of the small summer bralette I showed you, that I speed knit in 3 days. And the reason why I got more, I mean I got 6 balls, and I used less than 1 for the project. This is what I have left from the bralette, and I have bought 6 more balls, not because I want to knit 6 more bralettes, but because I love the yarn so much that I decided to knit another skirt of mine. It's a design I did last year, a year ago, and I knit that using Antigone by Rerum Natura, and I mean, it's amazing. I love it. And I just wanted to knit another one, but this time I wanted to use this, which is so soft that it's definitely as soft as a store-bought fabric, which is important for me because a skirt, you're going to have your butt sitting on it and it's going to have a lot of friction with your tights and everything, so I just need that to be really, really soft, especially the waist, because it's a cinched waist with an elastic and it's going to rub on my waist, and I need something soft, and this is the perfect contender for that. So I bought 6 balls. It should be enough to knit the skirt. They are 50-gram balls. It's 185 meters, and it's a blend of 70% merino, 28% recycled cotton, and 2% recycled fibers, and it's lovely. Ooh. So yeah, that's my plan. And I have a little bit of a story of the reason why I bought this directly at the Rerum Natura store and I made it shipped to me instead of buying it at my local yarn store, because most of them carry this yarn. And the first ball I used for my backless bralette test, I actually bought at my local yarn store. So why did I order this one instead of buying it to the local yarn store? Well, buckle up, it's a long story. No, not really, I make it short. When I bought the yarn for this one, this is the Cyrano base, and Cyrano is a very bulky, iron heavy weight of yarn, and it's not carried in a lot of stores. it's carried in one of my 3 local yarn stores, and they had only 1 ball available. And if I order yarn in another country than Switzerland, if I order over 60 Swiss francs, I mean it's 62.5 Swiss francs, which is about the same as dollars or euros, I have to pay for taxes. And the price is including shipping. So I cannot really buy a lot of yarn before having to pay the taxes, and the problem is the taxes, they begin at 30 francs. Bam! So if I order something at 63 francs, I have to pay 30 more francs of taxes, which makes the total of 90 francs for maybe like 45 francs of yarn, because there is usually about 50 francs of shipping, even more sometimes. So I'm like, I mean, there are some cases if I buy a skein that's like 32 francs and I paid 32 euros or something, and then I pay 30 for shipping, I will pay 30 euros skein and 60 euros of shipping and taxes, which makes 90 euros for a single skein. Yeah. So if I order outside of Switzerland, I usually order a lot, so that it really makes up for the taxes. So when I wanted to order the yarn for this garment, I had to order 5 balls. But 5 balls would have put me over the threshold of the 60 francs, including shipping. This is, by the way, pretty cheap, I think, for the quality of yarn you get. It's like 17 or maybe 15, I don't know, I put it here, for a single ball, including the taxes. And when I order, they actually subtract the taxes, because I will pay them when it gets to Switzerland, so I don't pay the taxes twice. So when I order on the Rerum Natura's website, I actually pay a little less than what's written on the screen. So I could, long story short, I could buy 4 balls without paying the taxes, which was perfect, because there was 1 ball in my local yarn shop and 4 balls ordered directly from the Rerum Natura. Perfect! I wouldn't pay any taxes and I would support my local yarn shop. So I did that. I ordered the 4 balls from the Rerum Natura, and I ordered the last one from my local yarn shop. And then I got an email from the yarn shop in question saying, I'm really sorry, there was a mistake in the stock, and actually I don't have any of this yarn in this colorway. And I was like, no, I have already ordered. Yeah, so I received the 4 balls and I was like, maybe I can make the sweater with only 4. Of course I couldn't. I mean, I had finished the sleeves and I had knit maybe this much of the body when I ran out, so I had to order the last one. But I didn't want it to like make something shipped to me with only 1 ball of yarn. So I wanted to complete the order and get to the threshold of the 60 francs, which is why I bought 6 of them, even though I could have bought them in my local yarn shop, because, I don't know, in my head it was less worse to do that than, I don't know, maybe I should have supported my local yarn shop anyway and have this shipped to me with only 1 ball of this. I don't know, but yeah, it's what I decided. Maybe it was not the best, but I had to take a decision, and fast. Alright, battery change for the last 30 seconds of the video. Because I'm basically done with everything I wanted to talk about today. So, life-wise, there's not much happening these days. There is climbing-wise, as I mentioned, I climb quite a lot, and there is a contest going on at my local bouldering gym, and it's a little bit particular because it's going on for the whole month of March. Basically, each week they put up new boulders, and you have to add in there is an app where you can basically track all the boulders you top in the gym, and the app is kind of distributing points for every boulder you top. Then there is a ranking of all the best climbers in the male and female category, and at the end of the month there will be the first 6 men and first 6 women that will be selected, and there will be a finals between all of the 6 contestants to see who is the best between the male and female. And yeah, it's fun. I'm always going there every week and climbing all the new boulders anyway, but this month it's tracked and there is a ranking, so it's funny. For now I think I'm in 3rd place, but yeah, it's just the beginning, so not all the strong people have come yet to the gym, so we're gonna see. Last year I made it in the finals. I was last. I was the 6th. I don't climb very well under pressure when there is a crowd shouting at me, but it's still funny. We were all between friends because I know all of the other strong women of the gym, so it was just a fun experience. And we're gonna see this year if I make it to the finals again or not. We'll probably see that in the next episode because it will be in 2 weeks, and I think the finals are in less than 3 weeks. So I will update you how well I do in the ranking in 2 weeks. And yeah, if you don't want to miss on that or on any of the progress of my knitting, you can of course subscribe to my channel and leave a like if you enjoy this. And yeah, as always, I wanted to thank you for the support, for the very kind comments, and for all the likes, of course. I'm getting on all my videos. I just really enjoyed. I always say that, but I just really enjoyed reading you, so please continue. And yeah, thank you for the support, and I hope you find time to knit and do the things you love, and see you in the next one. Bye!